a vida vai trazer quem eu mereço.
Welcome back, guys. In this video we are going to be reacting to some horror shorts, and link will be in the description for the channel. Alright guys, before we get into the video, I'm going to be reacting to Wanna See Entertainment. They're a horror short animation videos, so you know, just go check them out. Their stories are really good and I like to watch every single one of them. So I'm going to share 3 of them that I really enjoyed. But anyway, let's hop into the video, guys. The first story is called A Story to Scare My Son.
Son, we need to talk about internet safety. I slowly crumpled down onto the floor next to him. His laptop was open and he was playing Minecraft. Comments scrolled down the side of the screen in a chat box, and I could see his eyes were locked into the action. Son, can you stop your game for a minute? He then closed the laptop and looked up at me. Dad, is this going to be another cheesy, scary story? What? I faked hurt feelings for a second, then I grinned at him. I thought you liked my tales. He grew up listening to my stories about children who encountered witches, ghosts, werewolves, and trolls. And like many generations of parents, I use scary stories to reinforce morals and teach lessons about safety. Single dads like me should use all the parenting tools at their disposal. They were fine when I was 6, but now that I'm getting older, they don't scare me anymore. If you're going to tell a story about the internet, can you make it really, really scary? I squinted at him incredulously, and he folded his arms and said, Dad, I'm 10 and I can handle it. Okay, I'll try. I began. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Colby. He sighed deeply. It was sure that his expression indicated that he wasn't impressed by the introduction. I continued. Colby went online and joined several children's websites.
First of all, I think this kid's about to get abducted, or a kidnapper is going to break into his house and do something to him. But let's just get back into the story.
After a while, he started talking to other kids in-game and on the message boards. He made friends with another 10-year-old boy named Helper23. They liked the same video games and shows.
Alright, who names themselves Helper24 or 23? That's the dumbest name you could ever come up with.
They laughed at each other's jokes, and they explored new games together. After several months of friendship, Colby gave Helper23 6 diamonds in a game they were playing. This was a very generous gift. Colby's birthday was coming up, and Helper23 wanted to send him a cool present in real life. And Colby figured it wouldn't hurt to give Helper23 his home address, as long as he promised not to tell it to any strangers or grown-ups. Helper23 swore he wouldn't tell anyone else, not even his own parents, and set about mailing the package. I paused the story and asked my son, Do you think that was a good idea? No, he said, shaking his head vigorously. In spite of himself, he was getting into the story. Well, neither did Colby. Colby felt guilty about giving away his home address, and his guilt began to grow. By the time he put on his pajamas the next night, his guilt and fear were larger than anything else in his life. He resolved to admit the truth to his parents. The punishment would be steep, but it was worth it to have a clear conscience. He squirmed in his—
this kid looks like the son of the dad. Just by the way, so I don't know if they're related or anything, but probably just the animation.
Bed as he waited for his parents to tuck him in. My son knew the scary part was coming up. He leaned forward, wide-eyed, and I spoke quietly and deliberately. He heard all the noises of the house. The washing machine bounced around in the laundry room. Branches scraped against the brick outside his room. His baby brother cooed in the nursery. And there were some other noises he couldn't quite pinpoint. Finally, his dad's footsteps echoed down the hall. "Hey, Dad," he called out nervously. "I have something to tell you." His dad stuck his head in the doorway at a weird angle.
Yo, what the heck? Why is his eyes red? He looks like he's like drunk or something, or high. He looks like he's been smoking for a little.
In the darkness, his mouth didn't seem to move, and the eyes were all wrong. "Yes, son?" The voice was way off, too. Are you okay, Dad?" he asked. "Uh-huh," sung the father in his strangely affected voice. Colby pulled his covers up defensively. Is Mom around? Here I am.
Yo, what the mom looks like she's high too, because she has red eyes too. Wait, why is she down here? Why wouldn't she be like closer to him?
Mom's
Is that
head
they, like,
popped
the
into the
father?
doorway below Dad's, and her voice was an unnatural falsetto. Were you about to tell us that you gave our home address to Helper 23? You shouldn't
Wait, how would they know?
have done that. We told you to never give out personal information on the internet. She continued. He wasn't really a kid. He just pretended to be one. Do you know what he did? He came to our house, broke in, and murdered both of us, just so he could spend some time with you. A fat man
Yo, I knew it! It was an actual girl the whole entire time.
in a wet jacket emerged in the doorway holding the two severed heads. Colby shrieked and gasped as the man dropped the heads on the ground, unsheathed his knife, and moved into the room to work on the boy. My son screamed too. He twisted his hands defensively over his face. But we were just getting started with the story. After several hours, the boy was almost dead and his screams had become whimpers. The killer noticed the wailing of a baby in another room and removed his knife from Colby. He had never murdered a baby before and was excited about the prospect. Helper 23 left Colby to die and followed the cries through the house. In the nursery, he walked to the crib.
Yo, there's no way he's gonna kill the baby. I mean, come on, let him live. Or something. Just like call the police or something so they could take care of the baby. But like, there's no way that he's gonna kill the baby.
Picked the baby up and held it in his arms. He moved towards the changing table to get a better look. But as he held the baby, the crying died down. On the contrary, he looked up and smiled. Helper 23 had never held a baby, but he gently bounced it in his arms like a pro. He wiped his bloody hands on the blanket so he could stroke the baby's cheek. Hey there, sweet little guy. His beautiful rage of sadism melted into something warmer and softer. He walked out of the nursery, took the baby home, named him William, and raised him as his very own. After I finished the story, my son was visibly shaken. But Dad, my name's William, he stammered. I gave him a classic dad wink and tousled his hair. Of course it is, son. William ran up the
Yo, so the whole entire time he killed the parents and raised him as a baby. That's just wrong.
stairs to his bedroom in a fury of sobs. I think he liked my story.
There's no way this one is true. He probably just tried to scare him. Alright, so the next video is called The Wrong Prankster Horror Story. This one is only 4 minutes and 57 seconds, so it's a short one, but you know, it must be some action in it, so let's get into the video.
Back in 2016, my friend Lachlan and I thought about doing the best prank ever. It's the ghost girl walking through the streets prank. I went to some Halloween store where they sell the white dress that's the perfect fit for Lachlan. Then I got some red paint for fake blood for the white dress and a long wig for covering Lachlan's face. After buying the stuff, I went home to set it up. Lachlan tried on the whole costume, and I thought it was pretty scary. Scary enough
This animation makes him look like a girl, I'm not gonna lie.
to scare my friends, at least. These other two friends are Jesse and Gavin. Now it was time to set the plan into motion. I called the two of them and told them to meet each other in the car, then come pick me up so we could drive around that night, around 10 p.m. They agreed and hung up. It was 8 p.m. at the time. The perfect time, in fact, to take Lachlan in his costume to the scary bridge that no one drives through anymore. It took us about half an hour to get there. I dropped Lachlan off on the scary bridge, telling him, "When you see the light of their car, walk all creepy like a ghost girl. See you when we're done." I drove back to the house and waited until 10. Soon Jesse and Gavin arrived, and I hopped in their car. I asked Jesse, who was driving, "Hey man, can I drive tonight?" He replied, "Sure, why not?" He let me in the driver's seat, and we took off. Now, this is where the fun begins. I make my way to the same street where I drove to drop Lachlan off on the scary bridge. But things get weird here. I must have driven about 20 minutes when I saw Lachlan walking on the road. He wasn't on the bridge, but the road.
Yeah, that one actually looks different. That one, she doesn't have blood on her thing. And she's like all tall and her hair looks all,
All
good.
Jesse and Gavin saw was a creepy, ghost-looking girl walking on the road. They were practically begging me to drive away now. I told them, "Wait, I need to text Lachlan about this." I texted him, "Hey dude, why are you 10 minutes away from the bridge and walking on the road?" A few seconds later, Lachlan texted back. He said,
What? Yo, he's at the bridge, and who is that?
"I'm at the bridge waiting for y'all. Where are you anyway?" My heart sank when I read that. Quickly, I texted back, "Wait there, I'm picking you up. We're not doing this anymore." So, Lachlan was 10 minutes away. Who was in this costume? What are the odds that it's another prankster in the same outfit? Jesse and Gavin were still begging me to go back. I told them, "We need to go past this prankster." Jesse shouted, "No way!" I ignored him, and I began to drive past whoever was in the same costume. I drove slowly and steadily. When I passed the person, I got a glimpse of
Oh,
their
frick. That person's face, though, looks like a bird.
face. I couldn't breathe. What I saw was
What
either the
the-
most realistic
Where are teeth? There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What
looking
the-
makeup.
Isn't there like 32 teeth?
Or
Where are the rest?
That was not a costume.
That's definitely not a
I
costume.
drove faster now, knowing that I had to pick Lachlan up, but tempted to just drive away. 10 minutes later, I made it to the bridge where Lachlan was waiting. He was just sitting on a rock waiting for me. I honked at him and he came in. Lachlan asked me what was going on. Now everyone needed an answer. I told Lachlan what happened, and I told Jesse and Gavin about the prank we had planned. It was supposed to be a prank for you guys, but it was interrupted. I began to drive back, dreadfully knowing we'd have to pass the same stretch of road where we saw that girl. But 10 minutes later, when we should have been seeing her, she wasn't there. But I wasn't going to ask why. I just
That's
wanted to
actually
get
good for
home
you.
safely. 20 minutes after that, we got back home okay. We all talked about what happened. After the conversation, Jesse and Gavin headed home. Lachlan stayed the night, which was probably for the better, because what we saw that night made me lose sleep and terrified me for months.
Well, no dirt, it's gonna terrify you. That face was scary. Alright, last reaction video, guys. This one better be the best out of them. But, by the way, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, because I actually spend time on making these videos. So if you guys want to watch more of them, then just subscribe so you can watch them. Or you can also go into my channel and watch the rest of them. But anyway, I'll make a part 2, but if this video gets to 20 likes, then I'll make a part 2. Alright guys, last horror story that we're going to be reacting to.
It was late in the evening and I was driving on the highway. I was
Yo, this is, they have a cool background. I mean, like, it's like the sun's rising. He's like maybe coming back from work, I think. But we're gonna have to see what happens. Yeah, he's probably coming back from work, but let's see what happens.
coming back home from my friend's party. I was so
Oh, okay, he's coming back from his friend's party.
tired at that time, so I decided to check in at a hotel near the village. The hotel was not too big, seemed normal, but was kind of creepy. After finishing check-in, I got my key
Yeah, this doesn't look that creepy. It's like there's flowers here.
and the room number.
They have a good wait. I don't know the name. I think like hotel person, like, you know, in the front. I can't think of the word right now. You guys can probably say in the comments, but Yeah, this doesn't look like
My
the
room
color and
number
stuff,
was
like, oh yeah,
23.
especially green.
I walked
guess
to the
that's-
hallway.
Yeah, this kind of looks like The Shining a little, with like the hallway, and then there's a window up here, and the doors look all weird and stuff.
As I was passing by the other doors, I heard a kid's giggling voice from the room number 20, which was located just 2 doors away from my room. I stopped walking.
Wait, why does room 20 look like this? The numbers were like this, but this one's like new number 20. The doorknob is like, I don't know if this is like heated or something. It's gray, and then there's like rust right here. Look at the dust right here.
Then I noticed that the door on this room looked different from the others. The door looked very old and it had a big keyhole,
It does.
and it was big enough to peek inside the room. I was actually
Come on, don't be peeking in the room. Give them privacy. They could be having like a sleepover or something. Who knows what? And they could be even naked, maybe. Don't even be looking through the hole.
curious about the inside, so I looked
Well, I
into
guess
the
if you're
room,
curious.
and there was a girl who was sitting on the bed with
Why do the horror stories have to have the same girl with the white girl in the dress with the black hair? I don't know it with these horror stories.
her face down to the floor. I couldn't see her face clearly because her hair was all covered. She was wearing a white dress like the 1990s style, and it looked dirty.
This girl's probably
I
possessed.
thought
or
it was
something.
weird, but soon I just disregarded it. So I headed to my room, locked the door, and just passed out. The next morning, I was walking the hallway again. I didn't know why, but I instantly had this feeling that I wanted to look through that keyhole again in room 20.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done too.
So I stopped in front of the door and looked through the hole. But this time, I couldn't hear any sound and see the girl though.
Why is it
All I
red?
could see was a whole red color. I thought maybe she saw me yesterday, that I was looking through the hole. So she probably covered up the hole with a red cloth or something.
Yeah, probably.
I thought that was childish, but cute.
Yo,
so
aren't you
I
like
smiled,
21?
stepped back,
She's
and
like
headed to
6
the
years
counter.
Old, dude.
Before leaving, I asked the lady at the counter, "Hey, what's going on in that room 20? Why does the door look different and why that girl stays alone?" She stared at me for a while and then began to talk. "Oh, you mean the room number 20. There used to be a family who checked in that room when this hotel wasn't renovated before. The couple had a daughter and stayed in here for their vacation. But then, they killed their daughter in that room.
Why do they kill
And when the
into
cops
a
arrived,
hotel
the
room?
couple killed themselves too.
Oh,
But the weirdest part about it was,
it's like grape juice.
after that, lots of our guests told the staff that they saw the same girl who was wandering the hallways. And they all said that the girl's eyes were too red, as just like she was shedding tears of blood. What she told me shocked me. My heart
Wait,
was
what?
pounding and I couldn't even speak anything. Then, what was that red thing?
Oh yeah, that is true.
Was she looking at me through the door, just like I was
Yo,
watching
what
her?
at the same time. But thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my reactions towards the videos. But if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.